Independent Senator Bernie Sanders joins us right now for what I hope will be, I'm sure will be actually a broader conversation. Senator, what is your explanation for the gap? The American people obviously know. I don't know if you heard the conversation with Tom Brokaw. You obviously look at the data, the approval ratings for pick your favorite institution, et cetera. The American people know, but the government doesn't seem to be adapting to what the sentiment is reflecting. Why do you believe that is?
I think the answer is pretty simple. The United States Congress, at a certain degree the White House, are dominated by big money interests. If you look at who contributes to campaigns, by and large, they are very wealthy people. If you look at the lobbying effort that takes place in Washington, it is beyond belief. When we look at what happened at Wall Street and the collapse of Wall Street as a result of deregulation, we can never forget that Wall Street spent $5 billion over a 10-year period lobbying for that deregulation. Answer your question, Dylan, I don't look at Congress as having personality defects, people can't get along and all that stuff. That's not the issue. The issue is that the Congress is dominated by people who have a whole lot of money. And if you look at what's happened in recent years, in fact, Congress has been working very, very well for the top 1%. For the top 2%.
So if you were to look at the obvious resistance to this, it's not just in the polling data, you see it with the occupation, you see it with the Tea Party, you see it with the response to things like the Get Money Out movement, 260-some-odd thousand signatures, you see it in the response to the amendment that you recently introduced. It's really everywhere that you look. The question,
absolutely.
The question is, how do you take that and use it to create actual leverage on other politicians so that we can, if politicians go whichever way the wind blows, how do we change the wind, so to speak?
Well, I think, Dylan, you've asked the $64 question. That is the real question. Let me just give you some examples. Every single poll that I have seen says that at a time we're in this terrible recession, unemployment sky high, middle class declining, while the wealthiest people are becoming much richer and are paying the lowest effective tax rate in decades, overwhelmingly, the American people, including many Republicans, are saying the wealthiest people in this country have got to pay more in taxes. When you have corporate loopholes out there that are a mile wide so that large corporations can make billions in profit, not pay a nickel in federal corporate taxes, American people are saying close those loopholes. And yet in Congress, that is not happening, because you have a lot of people who are standing there fighting for the wealthy and fighting for the large corporations. On the other side, in terms of the safety net, poll after poll says, don't cut Social Security, don't cut Medicare, don't cut Medicaid. Day after day, we are having to fight back against many members of the Congress who want to slash Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, all of which speaks to your point, is that Congress functions in one way, in my view, representing the interest of the wealthy and the powerful, and on the other hand, the American people say, hey, that's not what we want.
I know that we've run our clock, but you and I both have to agree that the rising temperature is an opportunity to affect change on a level we have not seen in at least a few years.
I think that that's right, and I think we're beginning to see it. The American people are becoming profoundly disgusted at a Washington, D.C., which does not understand the extent of suffering which is taking place in this country, where median family income is going down, poverty is going up, older workers are losing their jobs and are working for half the wages they used to work. Kids graduating high school, college, trying to get a career going, can't find any job at all. And people look at Washington and they're saying, what are you doing? And I think we have got to make it clear what a sensible program is and who is standing up for that program. For example, you go on, Dylan, out on any street corner in America, and you say, should we create large numbers of jobs rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure? What do you think people are going to say?
Absolutely not. That sounds terrible. You want to put people to work and solve a problem?
Right. Overwhelmingly. We could not get any Republican support for this. Now, I'm an independent, and I'm not here to tell you that the Democrats are perfect. They are far from it. They do not do as good a job in representing the American workers as they should.
Wonderful.
But I think if you look at what's going on, the Republicans have been simply anti-Obama. and refusing to fight for the jobs that this country desperately needs.
Thank you very much. I couldn't agree more. Bernie Sanders. The White House today also condemned new violence in Iraq.